Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to the free Tuesday training that I am providing for you for this November to Remember, so that you can really start moving forward in life and in business and relationships and in your health and your wellness, all of those areas that you really feel like you're stuck and stalled. So I'm glad that you're here joining us today for the Tuesday free training, November to Remember. I am Melissa Kirkpatrick, the business and life coach that you've been seeking in order to take you to that next level, to help you declutter your thoughts, your actions, and to be able to align yourself with success and prosperity, joy and happiness. And today we're talking about gratitude and necessity. These are two areas that I know was a game changer for me growing up. I didn't have the feeling of gratitude. I was doing the gold stars and the check marks, but I couldn't quite align with what it was that I really wanted, and oftentimes had a chip on my shoulder. So we're going to talk in depth about gratitude and how that can really be a powerful tool that you can use on a daily basis and throughout your day, so that you can implement more things to help you break out of those ruts that you might be in, and help you to attract more goodness in your life and to just live your best life. Because through gratitude, that's where we recognize what we are grateful for. We recognize the feel-good moments. And when we talk about the necessity of gratitude, it's about those emotional connections. It's not just saying, I'm grateful that I have a car, I'm grateful for my family, or I'm grateful for the food in my fridge. There's a deeper connection, and we're going to talk more about that when we talk about the necessity and what that looks like. But each day, it's you being able to show up your best version, the best version of yourself, and being able to improve it so that you not only feel good about yourself, but you're also able to serve others in a way that is more fulfilling and more joyful. So let's get started, and grab a pen, something to drink, and we're just going to talk about gratitude and necessity. I'm going to look real quick to make sure we are streaming on the group. Sometimes technology is not our friend, but we love it when it is, right? Okay. So gratitude, we have Thanksgiving coming up, and that's usually when we start, thinking about things, the holidays. And, gratitude is that thankfulness towards the world, towards, what we overcame last year, what we're working towards, like just feeling really good about things. And it really aligns when we're in gratitude. It does a couple of things. It really changes our positive perspective, how we look at things moving forward. It helps us to have better experiences, and then also can help to improve our health and our relationships, and even make more money if we choose to. Gratitude is all about the goodness, the thankfulness of what it is we already have and what we expect to have, the intentions moving forward of what we truly desire, that we want for our life and our business. So how do we express gratitude? We do it in many ways. We do it so often that maybe we don't even realize when we say thank you to someone who has given us a gift or opened the door, or just in general, thank you for a compliment. That's gratitude. Or even when we say I love you to someone, it's about the gratitude, right? It's that expression, that's feeling. So maybe you have the intention to be more grateful or in gratitude, but you can't quite seem to implement a way to make that be more consistent. One of the things that one of my networking friends, Angel, always talks about, if you see a woman's shoes and you like them, tell her you like her damn shoes. Don't not give the compliment, because again, that's where they become grateful, and then you usually will exchange the gratitude back to you. So be aware of that as we have this conversation of what it looks like, how you can implement ways. So let's start with first thing in the morning. One of the practices that I started doing was, and I learned it over time, because believe it or not, as a teenager, young adult, I was not a very happy person. I know it's hard to believe, because I'm really motivated and positive and optimistic, but as a teenager, as I mentioned, I'm doing the gold stars and check marks. I ain't got time for stuff. I got to get things done. I got to get to the next thing, which created this, kind of ungrateful person at times. When someone would say, "Good morning, Melissa," I'd be like, "What's so good about it?" Here I am, a teenager, getting up, going to school, doing my thing. Don't be telling me it's a good morning. I don't know what that looks like. And so, and then the pessimisticness of me, was showing up more often. I had to work on being more optimistic than a pessimist. And it's, part of that bringing up that you're exposed to, the environment you're in, the people you're with, the family you're in. Like, all of that will dictate how you feel emotionally and mentally. And so It's a conscious decision. It's a conscious decision to practice gratitude. So what I was saying before is when I get up in the morning, I start my day with a thank you. It's not necessarily verbal, but in my mind, I wake up, open my eyes, or even before I open my eyes, I'm thankful. I'm still here. And that's the part that I've really transitioned into over the past decade, because every day I wake up, I'm still here and I get to be in service to others. And when I'm serving others, I feel like I'm being served, because it teaches me so much more. It allows me to support others on their journey. It gives me clarity, confidence. It raises my vibration. It gives me more income. It gives me more opportunities, all of that. So when I can start my day in gratitude, then I know that every moment of that day, I can be that good finder. I can be looking for the things that are going to make me feel good. So start your morning in some form. Now, some people like to journal, is another great way to start your day with gratitude. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. But one of the things I wanted to share with you is that if you can believe how you do one thing is how you do all things, meaning how you set your day up to be in gratitude is how you're going to create in other ways of your life. So be in alignment with the fact that it's not just you and it's not just the day to day. It's about those areas of our life, our work, our businesses, our relationships, our health, our wellness, and our finances. All of that comes together. So how you're doing one thing, being able to do that in other areas. So if you're really good at doing a budget with your finances, then maybe you might to look at being able to do a meal plan for your health and wellness, or for your business, you start setting up financial things a little bit differently than, as you do with your personal finances. So that's the taking the tools of one thing and putting it into other areas of your life. And so as you practice this internal gratitude, you'll just see it. The evolution will automatically start happening for you. And that's what I love supporting clients on, is because sometimes we only see the one thing and we forget that it all comes together. It's all synergistically intertwined. So growing through gratitude, I did a workshop on that last year. And the three things that I really brought home in that conversation was about the deeper connection to gratitude, and also using some sort of evidence journal, evidence board, to really lock it in, and then how you pay it forward. And so I just briefly mentioned that about how we can say thank you in the morning. We can use a journal to write out our thoughts of gratitude, and then paying it forward by telling someone you like their shoes or their outfit. And again, if you're the one receiving that compliment, hey, I really like your hair today, Melissa. I don't need to go into it like, oh, I haven't washed it in a week. Actually, I washed it yesterday. It's just like, thank you, I received that. And so that builds our vibration, and we want to give back what we receive, and vice versa. So keep that in mind. So let's talk about the deeper connections when we're talking about gratitude. It's really looking at it beyond the actual gratitude of the thing. So the way I like to look at that is, for instance, I'm grateful for electricity, right? I love it. I'm grateful for that. And the thing is that I'm not just grateful that when I hit the switch on the wall that the lights come on. I can be grateful that someone had this idea, that someone was able to follow through with this idea and make this technology happen. I mean, that feels really good for that. And I can also look at it, and it's used in so many different ways. Once electricity was discovered, it was used in so many other ways that I use it today. So that's what I mean by going deeper. Make that deeper connection. If you look at things just, I'm grateful for family, I'm grateful for food, I'm grateful for my car, I'm grateful for my job. Yes, but why? What is it about that makes you feel that really deep satisfaction of gratitude? So we're just stretching it, we're expanding it more. And I'm going to have an activity for you to try later to see how that might show up for you. So when we talk about the journals, journal work doesn't have to be hard or difficult. One of the things that I have discovered with my work is I love journals. I mean, it's like going in the office supply store. I love that. I love the markers. I love all of those things, office supply stuff. I can't go without, like, Here's some really cool markers that I just bought. And I'm always buying dry erase markers because you just never know when you're going to need those. But journals are another thing, or books, notebooks. And I'm starting to use them just day to day when I have conversations with clients or when I'm doing discovery calls. I love to find things like, here's one on thoughts. Here's one on believe in yourself. Never stop dreaming. It's just what really moves you. One of my latest ones that I use to write my daily gratitude and my vision for my life is They Say I'm a Dreamer. And this one is where I just free write in here on a daily basis. As you can see, there's a lot of writing going on. I don't filter it. I don't sense it. I'm just talking about what my life looks like, the life that I'm creating when I'm going from here to there. What is happening? You know, the personal chef has my meals in the refrigerator. The trainer's coming at noon to do a workout with me. I've got my black Cadillac Escalade driver coming to pick me up to take me to the airport to go do the things. I'm in gratitude because I have the money, the time, and the opportunity to do these things. I'm grateful that I took the chance of starting and operating my own business. I'm grateful for those experiences that I've had in the past. All of that. This is a whole nother training that I do on helping you to create yourself, your vision, your next version, your next act of yourself. But yeah, think about the journals to be able to create more of, you know, it not being difficult, but just starting with one item each night before you go to bed or first thing in the morning that you can be grateful for. And remember to add the why. It's just like our own journeys. Why are we doing? What is our why for doing these things? And it's the same thing. Well, why am I grateful? It just takes it a little bit deeper, a deeper connection. And that evidence journal is what's going to keep you moving forward, because when you feel like, I don't know, you can go back and reflect, even just for a moment, of the things that at that time you were grateful for. The other thing about practicing your gratitude is you have to make time for it. It's not something that, you know, you have to really like make a big deal about it, but just make that commitment that yes. And even if you don't write it out, just have it in your thoughts. When you're driving, I call that windshield time, you know, because you're just driving. Turn the radio off and just be like, what am I grateful for today? You know, I'm grateful that my lungs are working well. I'm grateful I can see. I'm grateful I can drive. And why am I grateful for that? Because this allows me to go do networking, to meet incredible people, to find my next client, like all of those things. The business ideas can come from that. So gratitude just builds on itself. It allows you to start moving forward into more of what you want and less of what you don't want. So you can start by writing down things, right? You know, right now, write down something that you're really grateful for. I have another example that we were talking in health and wellness, the arena, and it was about, I'm thankful for the apple tree. And everybody's like, the apple tree? And sometimes, you know, we go back to the Adam and Eve story about her eating the forbidden fruit. But the apple tree, because one, it provides nourishment. Well, actually, it's pretty to look at. Like the tree blooms, those beautiful buds, and then the fruit comes on. And then the fruit, you know, the red and the yellow, and then the taste of it, the juiciness, and then the health benefits that it has, the fiber that it has. And then, you know what's also amazing? Inside there are those little seeds, and those little seeds create more apple trees. Like, see, I took that apple tree, that apple, into a whole new gratitude, right? That's what I'm talking about. Doesn't that feel so awesome? And it becomes a game, because you can just really start creating more of, why am I grateful? What is it about this? So that's what I challenge you to, you know, write down some things. Start today, start after this call, start right now, write something down and know the why. And try to do this every day for 30 days, or maybe 21 days, maybe 14, whatever feels good. But here's the challenge. Do not duplicate your gratitude of what you're thankful for. So if you say you're thankful for your family, that's great, but you can't use that again. Now, if you want to get more specific of a family member, you know, your husband, your wife, your significant other, your partner, you know, you can do that. But take each one and make it different and start going deeper of why. What is it about that? So that's your first challenge to do, is to create that gratitude about someone, something, you know, what's the nouns, people, place, or thing, and then just really write it out of the deeper meaning of why you're in gratitude for that. Now, the evidence journal, so we talked about finding a fun journal book that you like so that it will inspire you. You can even get something as small as, I did this one here. This one says my evidence journal. And this talks about, the saying is remember where you started. So it's just, and I have this in my car, so I will quickly write things in there. So that I can, remember, oh, I saw this, I saw that. It could be feathers, it could be coins, it could be butterflies, it could be a cardinal, right? All of those things are evidence that says you're in alignment. You're in this vibrational alignment with the universe. You are divinely connected. You're plugging in. You're going to be tuned in, tapped in, turned on, as Abraham Hicks always says. And that's where, if I see money on the ground, I'm like, yes, thank you, universe, for the abundance that I'm receiving and going to continue to receive. Whether it's a penny, a nickel, a dime, a quarter, maybe you're lucky and find a dollar bill or a $20 bill, whatever it is, take that moment and say yes. If you see the cardinal and maybe that reminds you of a loved one who's passed, thank you, universe, for showing me this cardinal to remind me of those who have gone before me, who I deeply love and learned and appreciated. Like, see how that, feels so good. A feather on the ground. Oh, hello, angels. I see you're watching me. You're giving me evidence that you are watching over me, that you're keeping me protected, and you're helping me to move forward on a day-to-day basis in gratitude. See, you can make it fun. And that's what life's about. The journey's about making it fun, rewarding, and exciting. Now, I get it. Stuff happens. It does. And stuff happens that we don't feel good about. And it's hard sometimes to manage. And managing it on your own isn't always the best way. Sometimes we need to jump in bed and cover up our head and process. And other times we need to confide in family and friends. And sometimes we just need a life and business coach, right? That's what I started 13 years ago, and I know there's the difference. I don't think I would be where I am today. I think there would be a lot more turmoil and tragedy maybe, or, unfulfilling. I mean, all kinds of things could be going on. But for the most part, it's about creating that evidence, making sure that I'm in gratitude and I'm seeing my work and I'm reading it. And that cosmic kitchen that I talk about, out of the blue, things can happen. One of my clients wasn't really looking for another job and was offered a job. Other clients are like, I thought I was going to do this, but this is even better. It's really about just being open to receive to those possibilities, but it takes this kind of work and gratitude. That's the necessity of it, is so that we can stay. Again, I talk about vibration, the energy, you feeling good, you feeling happy, you feeling motivated. And so letting yourself be able to write this out, create that story. But then you say, well, Melissa, I've been doing this, but I don't really see any evidence. I'm not seeing anything. I don't know if this stuff works. And it could be one that you've just not really paid attention. You're not tuning in, or maybe you saw the evidence, but you kind of ignored it. You played it off like, well, that can't be. Like, for instance, if somebody, you think about somebody and all of a sudden they text you. Well, you might at first think, well, there's nothing to that, but isn't it interesting that you thought about it and then they text you, or they called you, or they pop up in your news feed on social media? That's evidence. That's the awareness that you're tuned in. That, if you thought you were going to buy something and you got to the cash register and it was on sale. Oh, okay, that's not by accident. Thank you, universe. Thank you for allowing me to have a discount. So that's what I mean. It's a practice. It really is. It's like going to the gym and working out. You really want to start being attuned to it and being aware of it. And sometimes with my clients, it's like I help them connect the dots looking back, because they forget. They're in the work. They're doing the things. And I'm the one holding space for them and listening and allowing them to where I can go, remember when that happened and that happened and that happened? Look how you're aligning all of this in your highest and best good. Out of this situation, good is coming. All is well. And that's where I want to bring you in this gratitude process. The other magic piece to this gratitude work is paying it forward. I can't express that enough. Now, if you think about it, I don't know, maybe someone's done this for you, but paying it forward can be someone pays for your meal in the drive-through line. You get up there and they're like, oh, the person before you paid for your meal. Holy cow, that's pretty awesome. The first time that happened to me, I was like, what? Huh? What do you mean? Like, no, I need to pay for it. But then I was like, oh, well, what can I do in this situation? Why don't I pay for the person behind me? Now, get this. So money stories, right? Money stories are always a thing. So immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, I was maybe going to spend $5. What if they ordered $50 worth of stuff back there? Can I afford to pay for it? I don't know if I have enough money. Do I really want to pay for it? That's the kind of stuff that gets in our way of gratitude and being and thankful, because we start creating these stories. No, do the thing. And this is what was funny. The person behind me got $1 coffee. So why was I making a story? Why was I fearing it? And now I don't. Even if they did order $50 worth of food, I'm willing to pay for it because I know that money's going to come back to me tenfold. I know I'm releasing that $50 in gratitude and happiness and excitement. Like, it's all about really programming the conscious language, the conscious decisions that you make. It's being a good finder, being able to see what can I do today to help others, to be in service to others, so that when I make them feel good, I know I'm going to feel good. So keep that in mind. When you're paying it forward, look at ways that you can do that. And that's the exchange. The universe loves for you to take action. It will give you more of that as you are putting it out. It's the law of attraction says that, for every action, there's a reaction. And that's really what you're creating. Let's see. Let me get to my notes here because I definitely want to make sure I don't lose sight of that. The other thing that you can do is out of the blue, also pay it forward. So maybe you just send someone a nice message, a note card. You could send a loved one some flowers, or someone, your secretary or your boss. You can do something nice for them. Or maybe you go out and volunteer in your community. Maybe you find that there's something going on and you can go be a volunteer. So that's how we return the gratitude. That's how we show up in that. So, and don't be hard on yourself. Just do it, as it comes natural, as you feel like you're able to. Even if it's just, like I said, leaving $1 or $2 maybe on a store shelf with a note saying, whoever finds this may abundance follow you. Like, those are the kind of things that can really, I have a whole list of things that I did in another workshop that I was a part of, learning how I can pay it forward. So keep that in mind. So you have the intention again to do all these things. Yes, Melissa, I hear you. I want to do this. I want to create that, but it just seems like it's so hard to execute, or you just really can't get yourself committed to doing that. So I would suggest a couple of things. One, Louise Hay has a book, and I know there's other ones out there. This is The Gratitude, A Way of Life. And what it is, it's short stories of people who have had an experience of how gratitude has shown up in a way that was unexpected. And there may be 2 or 3 pages long. It's an easy read. It's a quick read. It just, for me, when I started this, like this one's Being Grateful in Life's Challenges. When I started doing this at night before I went to bed, I felt like it just put me in a good frame of mind. Their stories were good. I enjoyed it. You can read them, randomly. I think there's even, there's even like you can find maybe what you're looking for in the table of contents. So this would be a great way to start. If you don't want to write, you don't want to think, and you don't want to pay it forward, just start with something like this. There's the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. Those are short stories about people. That would be another good book. I do have that book. They have different versions of that as well. So maybe start there. That would be a good place to start. The other thing is, my daughter-in-law bought this for me years ago, and it's called Good Days Start with Gratitude Journal. And at first, I love the cover, but all it is you open it up and you just write the date and the 3 things you're thankful for. That's all you got to do. Just fill it out. So that's another way to get started in the habit. And then I did a retreat a couple of years ago, and this was one of the books that we gave the attendees. It was a 3-day overnight trip on Present, Not Perfect. And this is a journal for slowing down, letting go, and loving who you are. And it has some really great images in there, some mantras, ask and prompt different questions in there. So be sure to, find something like this. Go on Amazon, look for tools for journaling, and see what you can find. Make that investment in yourself to have these resources on hand. And again, we talked about the journal books too. So don't limit yourself on what you can and cannot do. And even if you just take an index card and write something on it, but also your thoughts, just create it in your mind's eye. Create the thought, speak it out loud when you're driving in your car, when you're getting ready, whatever that looks like. Talk to the mirror, but just find that way to get the gratitude started to flow. Thoughts becomes things, actions create reactions, and when you know how to apply this process and practice it on a daily basis, that gratitude is really going to help you start creating your life by design. You're going to be able to have more joy, more abundance, and definitely more prosperity. I've seen it. I am proof of that, and so are the people that I come in contact with, as well as my clients and my friends and family. So that's gratitude. Now, quickly, necessity. This is what I want to talk about, because necessity is being able to do this. Necessity is something that is absolutely needed. That's why we say that. So, for example, water. We need water to live. It's a necessity. That's what I feel about gratitude. And if you're not able to do it on your own, then set the intention that you're going to get the support that you need. Find the accountability partner. It can be a loved one, a friend, or even a coach, because sometimes we're not biased, we're not judgmental. It is what it is. We help you see beyond your current circumstances and situations. So, but find that accountability partner for whatever it is you're trying to create in your life. If it's business, wealth, health, finances, that kind of stuff. And then be mindful. I do have a 21-day mindful email program that's available on my website at melissakirkpatrickbusinesscoach.com/services. If you scroll down, you'll find the mindfulness. It's a daily email that comes in your inbox to help really practice this formula of gratitude and awareness and tapping back into who you are and, being connected to mind, body, and spirit. So if that's something you're interested in, it's $7 is the exchange, and you get that coming into your inbox. But not to promote those. I'm here to help you about necessity and gratitude. So the necessity is a measuring the emotional commitment, the emotional connection. So we can say things, but if we're not emotionally connected with it, the necessity piece of it, it doesn't work as well or even at all. So think about that. Slow down each day and just think about how your body needs water, your body needs food, but also how I need this point of gratitude, to be in gratitude, to feel good. You know what you don't want, you know what you want. Stay in that what I want arena. And then also, gratitude is a must in improving your life, in improving your current situation. Maybe you call it prayer. That would be the equivalent to that. I'm praying for, the goodness and the support and the guidance. I'm in gratitude for this support and the guidance that I am receiving. And if you haven't felt driven or motivated, then that's probably the time to start. I'm grateful for me. I'm grateful that I'm still here. I'm grateful for my body vessel. I'm, even though it's overweight, I don't have to say that, but even though it's not at its fit weight, I'm grateful. It still functions. It still moves. I'm strong. I'm just me, like who I am, the color of my eyes, the color of my hair, like all of those kind of things. So just start with you, but start every day asking yourself, who do I need to be in order to be on my A game right now? And sometimes that's where we find that being on your A game is just about being, again, in this belief that I'm here, I'm making a difference, I love my life. Life's journey can be challenging, but I'm still showing up. I'm still thankful for the experience, the opportunity. And then just to recap, start your day with gratitude. Find something that allows you to go deep into why am I gratitude. And if you just start with, I'm grateful for clean water, indoor plumbing, and electricity, that's great. That's cool. Start there. Be intentional with how you set those feelings, how you set that gratitude. I'm intentionally saying I'm grateful for, because I know I want to feel good about it. I want to have the emotional experience as well. And then use a book, a journal, something, find something to read that people have written about their gratitude. And then start that evidence journal. Pay attention to the things that are around you. I collect feathers and put them in a vase, a jar. I actually have, these are my little ones. This is my gratitude cup. And so these are my little feathers that go inside of here. And then I also have, I should have had these over here. I have these. These are more little feathers that I have found. Sometimes they're blue. Sometimes they're white. I mean, I don't know. It's just pretty cool stuff. And then my big celebration is, the bigger ones. And I've gotten these on vacations and retreats and things that I've been on, but this is what my big feathers are. This is my evidence that I use on a daily basis. And I'm reminded that the work that I'm doing here is in service, again, not only for you, but for me as well. And I know that I'm leaving a legacy. I know that I'm creating my life by design. And I know that I live more on purpose now than I ever had. And it just keeps getting better and better. So I want to offer that to you, my friend. If you have conversation you want to take outside of this, please be sure to message me, drop me an email, however that looks. Comment below if you have a question. Watch this again on the replay, share it with others, and let them know that this training is all about you, making a November to remember, and And next week, we're going to talk about failures and productivity. And that to me is an area that we all hate to admit our failures, but at the same time, we can learn from that. So I hope you'll be able to join me next Tuesday at 11:15. Thank you for showing up today. If you're watching the replay, put that in the comments. And those of you who are joining live, thank you. I wish you an amazing day. That's all for now, but I'll talk to you soon. Bye.